Welcome to Chalk Talk. This season is winding down, but we have a very, very exciting weekend of championships. For Chalk Talk, I'm Chris Love.
I'm Eric Stork.
And Eric, a great weekend, very, very light weekend up and down the East Coast. The only regatta that got some real good breeze is PCC's, but let's jump right into it. We've got the ACCs at Navy. I was down there watching 2 half days of racing. Only 4 races on day 1, 4 more on day 2. Still some pretty solid racing out there, and of course a very, very stacked fleet, as we mentioned last week. Charlie Buckingham and Ashley Phillips for Georgetown. So impressive, especially once they got into the 420s on day 2. These guys, the results don't even tell the whole story. You watch them sail, they get off the line pretty much anywhere they feel like all they're looking for is a lane. They're not very aggressive at all because they know they can sail through the fleet.
And when we're in our own breeze, just kind of being really subtle with your reactions, but taking like advantage of every shift that you get. If you get like a velocity change, just half inches on the jib in and out, it doesn't seem like it makes a big difference, but altogether it does.
It's like you said, in a huge fleet like this, every little detail counts, and I think we're just really concentrating on those details.
They go out, they win A division. Their teammates Ferneri and Canty make it happen in B division, winning both, which you don't see very often in any college sailing regatta, let alone a championship, and get it done. Boston College was great in the fluky stuff on the first day. They're very, very disciplined. They don't have bad races, even when the breeze gets a little wild, as it did on the first day. But they just didn't have the speed to keep up on day 2. They fall behind and end up finishing second. So Georgetown first, BC second, Navy third, and St. Mary's, they had actually quite a comeback. They were 10th after the first day. They ground all the way back to 4th, almost knocked Navy off the podium, but no such luck. They finished 4th. Brown is 5th. And then down to Florida, we had the women's ACCs. Thank you very much to USF sailors Zach Marks and Will Felder for their very entertaining coverage of women's ACCs from Tampa.
We got Zach Marks and Will Felder here, subbing in for the Love Boat, coming at you with race 7, A Fleet, women's ACCs, day 1. Coming off the line real strong, nice tight pack. The pack's been getting consistently.
Yeah, Chris, that was fun to watch. It was, like you said, another lighter event, and breeze peaked about maybe 11 knots. Real stacked fleet, especially A division. Looking at the results there, it was tight. And St. Mary's pulls it out. A division and B division. Megan McGill, Meredith Powelson in A, and Mimi Roller, Kayla McComb winning B division. And they, really, it wasn't close by the end. It was close throughout the event, but they managed to pull away when it counted over the BC Eagles.
Yeah, we've just been really stable and fast and really steady. So Meredith's doing an awesome job just staying steady and really good trim. So.
Yeah, a lot about boat speed and trim today, huh?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, well,
William Smith Herons finishing up 3rd. They've been impressive all season, really, in their making a push. Caroline Patton getting 2nd in A. Lady Jumbos in 4th, and Georgetown Hoyas rounding out in 5th. They did the SQ in there, kind of knocked them down a bit. But that was it for the women ACCs.
So nobody scores. You and I are not finishing up our season of predictions very well, but
parity to college sailing.
We're gonna have to study a little harder next season, I think. So the ACTs, sort of the consolation regatta, a beautiful weekend up there in Castine, Maine, but very light as it was everywhere else. They only get 6 races in. My alma mater, BU, picking up their 4th ACT victory in 6 years. Congratulations to them, fighting off URI's Amy Hawkins' last-ditch effort trying to match race them off the starting line.
West Coast, as you said, PCCs had the best racing of the weekend, probably. Santa Barbara, it's a real great place to sail, good sea breeze, 5-12 knots the whole time. And the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos winning this event again. The Stanford fielded mostly their freshman team. They started Kevin Laube and Carolyn Ortel in A Division. And they started out well, but in this event, there are 20 boats, but you got to be consistent if you want to win. You got to be top 5, if not better. And they had one bad race, got pulled out. Nick Dugdale and Ann McConnell went in. Then Laube went back in, but either way, that doesn't get it done in A division there. And then Vargas and King for Stanford in B division, and Oliver Toole, they just weren't matched for UCSB. Crushing A division. Ryan Sullivan, Keeley Skates, 36 points, averaging under 3 points a race. That'll get the job done. And then Nick Kashak, Caitlin Beavers, second in B, and Cameron Walsh, fourth in C. So the Gauchos first, Cardinals second, Hawaii Rainbows third, Oregon Ducks fourth, and the USC Trojans rounding out top 5 there, PCCs.
The other big regatta of the week was the Timmy's Tune-Up, getting ready for the Timmy Angstons. And the big story here, freshman George Kuchenreuter from Wisconsin winning 7 out of 8 races, going second in the other one, and finishes up with 9 points to help his Badgers to the win out there in the Midwest. Well, that's it for the dinghy champs. Most teams in college sailing now putting their boats away, unless they're down in the warmer climates, done with the season. But the season is not over. Match racing, the first ever college match racing championship next week at Kings Point. Very, very excited. And I actually get the weekend off. The home team is going to be putting together a great media website, collegematchrace.com, where they'll have live video from Bill Hardesty, live scoring updates, and Twitter. So I'm very excited to be sitting back this weekend and watching the other guys do it. You'll be able to catch the race replays on Sailgroove the following week. But let's get right into this. This is kind of a foreign concept to us, college match racing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We got a real deep field, a lot of talent. We'll start right out with the home team. I guess Chris Herring from KP will certainly be there, fighting out in given races. Jackson Benvenuti, College Charleston. College Charleston has J22s to practice in. They can practice a lot for this. We'll see how much match racing practice they have, but they sail in current, which they'll have at KP. Otherwise, you got Tulane. Patrick Ryan is representing them. He's experienced in keelboats, Southern Yacht Club guy. Mark Towell from Brown. That's a NISA entrant. So, you figure they work pretty hard to get there. He's a morning light sailor, actually, for those of you who remember that. Dylan Lancaster, Cal Maritime. Matt Thompson from Minnesota. Glenn Stellmacher from UW. Phil Morley, Wisconsin. Michael Menninger, St. Mary's. He has done some match racing, 2-time winner of the Gov Cup, which is a junior match racing champs on the West Coast. And then finally, the 27th ranked match racer in the world, Taylor Canefield, representing Boston College.
Yeah, obviously we're looking forward to it. We had a good regatta at our New England Match Race Championship. And might be switching up the team a little bit. But I think we're going to do some practicing beforehand and hopefully bring our A game that weekend.
The more I think about it, especially as it's the first time out there, it's not the skipper that's going to win these races. It's going to be the whole team. And especially with this being a brand new event and a lot of these teams kind of showing up, not necessarily having sloop teams in the past years, we're going to have to wait and see what kind of crew work you get. If you don't have crisp jibes and spinnaker sets and douses, you're just going to give races away. It doesn't matter how high you're ranked. So it'll definitely be a fight. I'm excited to watch. I'm definitely looking at some of the ones you mentioned there. Michael Menninger. The Gov Cup is as is one of the most prestigious junior match racing championships in the world. Always draws big talent. And a lot of these other guys that have keelboat racing experience. So I'm very excited to see. Kind of like last week, I'm going to have to just hedge my bets here. If I had to pick, I would say Taylor Canfield for sure. But I just don't know. I feel like we don't have enough information.
Yeah, I would say the same. I think I think Taylor will get it done. He should have good crew work there. They've got lots of good sailors, and a lot of good crew work comes from knowing how to direct that as the skipper. The skipper is calm, cool, collected, and knows what he wants done, talks about it with the guys beforehand. It'll get done. If there's chaos on the boat, not as much. But Michael Menninger, like you said, should be real good. The Brown team, I think, will be good. And I'm excited to see some good racing.
So I think it's going to be a great event. Kings Point, very excited, as you can see by their website. So join us by tuning in this weekend for the live coverage. It'll be simulcast on Sailgroove and on collegematchrace.com. And join us next week for the final Thanksgiving special episode of Chalk Talk. Now, Eric, you're ahead in the standings. I guess our picks don't matter this week since we picked the same guy. You're ahead 6-4, but why don't we plan on carrying this contest into the spring? What do you say?
Yeah, I'm game for it if you are, Chris.
All right, and you've got a little bit of sailing coming up yourself this week, right?
Yeah, we start racing this week in the Perth International Regatta down here in Perth, Australia. So it should be it's a good test event for next year, the ISAF Worlds in 2011. And breeze has been great. The sun's out, it's hot, and we're excited for some good racing. Stay tuned.
Just make sure you watch out on those jibes. You know, that wing only goes out so far.
Got to be committed, Chris.
All right, Eric, best of luck to you this week. Thanks for making time for us, as always.
Thank you.